With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K, and welcome to another edition of my Rants and Raves video cast. We're getting really close to CEDIA and the new CIX show, and we've been bringing you coverage of some of the key brands that you definitely need to make sure you put on your calendar to go visit while you're at the show. One of those is Savant, and you're probably going to go to Savant anyway for the obvious reasons, but maybe not for the reasons that we're going to be talking to you about today. And I'm joined with the president of Savant, JC Murphy. JC, how are you doing?
Hey, Gary, thanks for having us on.
I really appreciate you being here. First off, congratulations on everything you've done, the recent acquisitions, the integration of the new lighting, the power of lighting in your organization. All of that's come together really well. You must be really happy heading into CEDIA in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're happy with the progress that we're getting that's happening with a couple acquisitions, but also we're happy to be back almost full force in person with everybody at this event, and it's always great. I think people are looking forward to getting together, and they're looking at an opportunity to reconnect because a couple of folks have missed the last couple of years.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I'm excited that this will be the most normal show we've had since 2019. You're going to come to the show. One of your messages is going to be all around Savant power systems and smart energy, for lack of a better term. Talk about sort of like your play there and how an integrator should look at this and sort of how this expands their opportunities for the clients that they, not just the new clients that they have, but the ability to go back to every single client they've ever done jobs for and pitch this to them.
Yeah, Gary, I think, the awesome companies that we work with to deliver technology in the channel, these integrator companies, these custom installers are essentially, service and installation companies. But at the core, they're also technology consultants to their clients. And, power and energy management basically is the new frontier for the smart home, full stop. No prediction here, but our view and our vision is a home is not going to be a smart home unless it has a power plan and it can have the ability to monitor and manage the energy consumption and then offload that to generators and renewables to be a more sustainable platform.
And that's beyond, solar panels. There's a lot more to it than that. And talk about your particular offerings and sort of what your differentiation points are and things like that.
Yeah, I think, that it really starts with basically, and you hit a key point. It's a technology that is for all homes, right? And this is the foundational element to that. And I always ask people, look around your home, and one of the least intelligent pieces of equipment in it is your circuit breaker panel.
Yeah.
You go down there today, look at your circuit breaker panel. Well, the first thing we're doing is we're pushing intelligence into that circuit breaker panel. And that can be done as a retrofit or in new construction. But it becomes the lifeblood of how to manage your home relative to the power it's consuming and how to offload that power to a combination of solar and battery backup.
And this is all part of the Savant power system product line. And I think one of the new products that you're going to show at CEDIA is the Power Storage 20 product, specifically in that line. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So just kind of going back to this foundational component, you've got a product line that is for load management and energy management that sits actually in the circuit breaker panel.
Right.
And that's what gives you visibility into everything that's going on in your home. And that gives you the ability to shed load, right, based on what is happening and what's happening in the home itself or what's happening outside the home. Right, that's complemented with basically a inverter, integrated inverter battery combination. And the significance of this is it is a high voltage product, right, that accepts both DC and AC power. So it sits in between a solar system, a generator, and the grid, and it provides battery backup to those three elements.
And that's what the Power Storage 20 is actually.
Correct.
And is this something? So obviously, if I'm an integrator and I'm currently not high voltage, certified. Do I work with my electrician on this, or sort of how does that relationship work? I mean, obviously, all the integration companies out there have relationships with electricians, but we want to keep as much of the business to ourselves. And a lot of times, the electricians come in with their own kind of concept for how to do power, or like you said, they've been doing it the same way for 30 years because the panel looks exactly the same as it did 30 years ago. How does that relationship work? And then sort of how does the CEDIA channel leverage that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be varied. I think there's the tale of three different ways this kind of can get into the market and how the custom installer can participate. One, they all have, like you said, either they have electricians on staff or they have great relationships with electrical contractors in the market. Okay. Right. And this push is around getting them into the front of the line of the design process on new build.
Good point.
Or bringing in technology that is sitting there. So you have a smart home, but basically you're looking at putting in solar, and now you need a way to store and manage that solar output. And that's where this power system that we have comes in play. So the idea is we see integrators in a couple different buckets. We see the ones that basically are all AV, and they just want to use Savant professional services to get the design services for this done and the permitting, and then they contract with their local electrician for the install. There's the integrator that basically has electricians in house and have been doing pre-wire regardless, but they can do this full stop with some consulting services from us. And then there's the one that are going to partner with the local electrician, not unlike they do with some of the lighting products that are deployed, and then come in and do the commissioning. So three different ways we see this happening.
You kind of quickly ran through something I think is really important, and that's your professional services team, because what they will do, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is that they'll actually sort of coach an integrator into this business, right? You'll actually design the system for them.
Yeah, and I think that in the low voltage world, there's no concept of anything that has to get everything is professionally designed, but there's no idea of you've got to be licensed and you've got to go through a permitting process. That's really what we do. We basically will do the design for the integrator, and we'll walk them through how to get PE stamped drawings in all the different markets that require that, as well as go through the utility certification. Right. And that seemed to be something that we've kicked off. And
is that
now
state by state, or is that a federal thing? So you have to know all the different individual states.
Correct.
Laws. Wow.
Correct. And let's be pragmatic. There are really key markets for renewables right now.
Yeah.
One is obviously California, Texas, Arizona, Florida, Puerto Rico, Massachusetts. There's key areas that this is really taking off quickly.
And what about can you, because of your expertise here, could you also help them understand the different laws and rebates and benefits that the government, because the government is, I actually am in the process of purchasing my first battery operated car, and I'm learning about, the benefits of buying one that's manufactured in the US versus manufactured somewhere else, the $7,500 credit and stuff. Is it this kind of thing that you're keeping up with as well? Because there must be some benefits and some support from the government, because there's so much talk about renewable energy for an individual to actually put in something like this in their house.
Yeah, we're trying to it's funny I'm going to say this. The government is making it really easy to take advantage of this now. Right. They've taken away so many of the rules and restrictions, but basically there's what we're doing is we're providing kind of a template with the quoted projects on basically the application of how you go about getting the renewable incentive back. But the basic concept, I can explain it really quickly, is that what they're doing now is that anything that is in the bucket of sustainable technology going into the home, the balance of system, the load management, the battery, the solar, they're letting you roll that entire offering up and take the installed cost of that. And they've extended this 30% investment tax credit right off the top year one.
Wow.
Right. And so that's once you get that view, and we are showing that in black and white on these quotes, we say, oh, yeah, and can, work with your tax advisor and things like that. But they're really trying to streamline the rules to make it very simple, not unlike when you go to buy an electric vehicle It's
Yeah.
very clear cut, whether you lease it or you buy it, and how they handle that $7,500 rebate.
Yeah, that's good to know. So kind of in a way, this is the best time ever to get into this, because there's all these opportunities. In addition to, you mentioned this real quickly, but the new revenue stream opportunities that this provides for an integrator that's been traditionally doing home theaters or home automation exclusively. So you'll be at CEDIA, obviously. You've always been a big part of the show and always have really cool control products. Now we have a reason to go in there to take a look at the Savant power system products as well. JC Murphy, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And congratulations on everything y'all have done.
All right. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. All of our CEDIA coverage is at ravepubs.com.
With rants and raves.